The great Australian dream of owning a house is looking more like a fantasy for young people, with high prices hindering them from entering the market. 26-year-old government worker Ben Grant has inspected around 10 apartments in the last few months and has been shocked by the prices. The high cost of buying has forced Ben and his fiancée to live with his parents in the East Ryde home.
It's been pretty difficult, so we've been to me and my fiancée have been to a few open inspections. We've spoken to a few mortgage brokers, but at the moment I think we're just getting an idea of how much apartments cost and what's out there, and it's been a bit of a shock.
Ben's living arrangements are not unique. More than a quarter of Sydneysiders aged 20 to 34 continue to live at home with their parents, compared to just 19% in the 1980s. More young people are set to live with mum and dad as house and rental prices soar. The average house price is now 10 times the average annual income. The high costs are not only affecting young people, but their parents too. Economist Steve Keen says many parents, including those in his circle of friends, are resisting to downsize their properties.
They thought they could sell the family home and then use that as a retirement. Well, the family home's still been used by the family.
He says it may not be beneficial if parents use their income streams to provide financial help to their children.
Ironically, what's happening in a lot of cases now is that baby boomers who made that pocket themselves, a fortune out of rising house prices, are now using part of that in their super money to buy their kids into the whole thing. Well, it ends up meaning all the money goes to the financial sector. And so really, if this keeps on going for too long, it's not the community that benefits, it's not even the baby boom sector that benefits, it's the financial sector.
Australians for Affordable Housing spokesperson Jacqueline Phillips says she has talked to many families who thought they would have an empty nest by the time their children reached adulthood.
I'm also seeing parents who feel that they really have an obligation, because the housing market is so difficult for their children, that those who are able to then feel that they need to assist their children in getting into the market, and that might mean big sacrifices themselves at that stage of their lives in order to assist their children into home ownership.
Ben believes the government must provide more assistance to first home owners and perhaps revise policy regarding foreign investors.
That any support that the government can give us is greatly appreciated. I know that there's that first home buyers grant available, but I don't think it's enough. I don't expect a big handout, but maybe a bit more of an advantage for the Australian citizen over, a foreign investor or someone who's got 10 investment properties would be beneficial, I think.
But an increase to the first home owners grant is something that Steve Keen warns will drive up house prices even further and create more debt for young people.
It's like a poisoned candy, because that looks like it's a bonus to the buyer. You get the money in your pocket, but what do? You go to the bank, you've got $10,000 extra in your pocket, the bank says, oh, we'll give you another $100,000. So you end up having $90,000 and more, $100,000 in more debt, courtesy of the $10,000 the government gives you.
He says young people should politicise the housing crisis if they want it to end. Jacqueline agrees.
Let's not pretend that governments have no control over house prices or the housing market. There are a whole lot of levers that governments can exercise to make the system much fairer and much more affordable.
However, it seems the pain is set to continue, with the federal government announcing less funding to housing affordability schemes in the budget. Mariam Chehab, The Nest Chapter.